Hello, Kubrick Lover 1972 here, better known as Brian, of course. So here's my weekly films that I've watched, and of course, it's Sunday night. Well, technically Monday night. It's 1:24 in the morning, um, and the last film I watched for the doing this video, I just watched just a little while ago. I finished it around about midnight. Um, anyways, I'm gonna review that film. That's a little bit later on in the video, not too much. This won't. I don't think this video will take that long. It's only 4 movies I've watched this week, one of which I've seen before. Yeah, so sometimes I say I'll do my week in review at the end of the week, being Saturday, and then I say sometimes Sunday. So Sunday, this is Sunday, so I'm giving you the week in review for this week. So let's start off. There was a film on Mubi, M-U-B-I, one of my streaming services. It's a Japanese film. It's called Belladonna of Sadness. It came out in 1973. It's directed by um, Aichi Yamamoto. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, the first name, or maybe it's the second. Sometimes in Japanese they put the last name first when they talk about a person. Um, and also who else is in this? Who else was involved with this film is Tatsuya Nakadai, and it's about it's an animated movie. Um, it uses like it looks like it's a lot of watercolors in it, um, and sometimes it's just pictures, not moving pictures, but just still pictures, and the camera pans over the the uh, the image, the like scene or the people in the scene, and then sometimes you see all this crazy animation. Like if you watch Pink Floyd's The Wall, you watch like the Beatles animated um, material that they did when they were around. It's sort of that kind of animation. So, anyways, the main character in the movie, the woman, she wants to marry this guy who's I think he's like maybe he's a prince or something, and oh no, he's not a prince. He's one of the people that lives on the prince or king's land or something, and in order to um, marry him, um, what happens now? Um, I'm not setting this up correctly, I don't think, or maybe he is one of the royalty. I can't remember exactly, but in order, I think you know what, I think he is part of the royal, or maybe she's part of the royalty, and I think she's betrothed to somebody else. Something I don't know. Anyways, she 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 um she like sells her soul to the devil so she can make sure that she becomes has a relationship with the man she's in love with, and the demon is or devil or whatever is played by Tatsuya Nakadai, and the animation's pretty cool. I liked it more when it moved rather than the still pictures, but it was like a diamond in the rough kind of a movie where Um, it's one of those movies that was either made and not finished, or it was finished but it just stood collecting dust. It's one of those movies that stood collecting dust, like Army of Shadows or The Other Side of the Wind. Other Side of the Wind, the Orson Welles movie, or Army of Shadows by Jean-Pierre Melville, that was shot in 1969. It really didn't see the light of day until like somewhere in the 2000s, and then it was put on Criterion the following year, and that's a really good movie. I think I've said that before on my channel. So that's the first film. I think I watched this one next. I can't remember exactly, but this is the film I said I've seen before. Um, it's Fires on the Plain. It's Criterion. It's Japanese. I recall liking this a lot. That's why I watched it. Thing is, when I watch a movie I've never seen before, I'd like to watch it in one sitting. I don't like to split it up. Um, the only time I might stop is if I had to go to the bathroom, or if I'm hungry and I want to eat something. But so like with films I've seen before, sometimes I can watch. I might watch part one part of it in one day and then watch the remainder of it the following day. So that's what I did with this one. It's just about the futility of war. It's set during World War II. The Japanese are on this island, in the Pacific, and it's this guy who has, I think he has tuberculosis, and he's just trying to survive on this island and not get killed. And great film, just these excellent scenes. Not knowing if he's going to survive or not, and doing whatever it takes to survive. I mean, there's a great scene where this guy, one of the Japanese soldiers, is on this. I think he's on a hill, and he takes this mud and he puts it in his mouth. He starts eating it, and he calls himself a Buddha. He's like he's sitting in the lotus position, with his legs, with his feet tucked into his legs, and I like that scene, and just the whole thing. There's there's a cannibalism scene. I think there's a scene where they're eating some kind of body part or something. I can't, something like that, and they encounter the U.S. soldiers, and I don't want to say too much about this, but this is a really good movie. It's I would give it probably 4.5 stars, I'd say, out of 5. Um, the only thing that wouldn't bring me to 5 is it's not my top favorites of all time, but it's a really good movie. Oh, you know what? It is one of my favorites. I did show this on my one of my streams. It is one of my favorite movies. Maybe 5, 4.5 or 5. And the Belladonna of Sadness, I'd give it out of 5 stars. I'd give it how many stars would I give that movie? 3.5 or 4. Uh, Maybe I should have my ratings ready before I come on video. Um, I'll give it 3.5, I guess. Okay, so the, this is the second to last one. These next two films were recommended to me by other YouTubers. So here's the first one. Sorry to Bother You, directed by Boots Riley. Um, I did watch also the special features. I listened to the commentary. This was my friend on YouTube. It's his favorite movie of last year, so I wanted to know. I wanted to see what I thought of it. It's about um, this black guy, this African American guy, pictured here. Um, he needs a job. He needs money, So he works at this telemarketing firm, and Danny Glover tells who's seated in the cubicle next to him tells him to use a white voice when he's doing uh, just what was it called, um, telemarketing sales, and he just manages to do that. But the other workers there aren't satisfied with how they're being paid, how they're being treated, so they go on strike. But he instead he um, he decides to he gets promoted, and he doesn't join his fellow workers for more fair conditions, and so he manages to make it to a higher tier on the on the telemarketing uh, team, um, and he gets to meet the person that owns the company, and he has to come to like a realization of, is that spoiling it? Um, he has to figure out what is he what is he what is he honor more, making money or making a difference. I would That's basically the moral of the story. So I won't say what happens, but and then the ending kind of flew me for a little bit. The how it ended just before the credits, or right after the credits started. There's like sort of like a Marvel movie. You know how there's an additional scene after the credits end. Well, just before the credits keep going, there's a shot in the film, and um, maybe that's kind of weird what happened there. I won't say anything about it, and and my friend said Tessa Thompson is good in this. She's very attractive in this. She plays an artist, and she wants him to be who he is rather than what he um, thinks he should be. Just be himself and not um, betray his identity. So I guess that's a good enough explanation. Um, so I give this, out of 5 stars, I give it um, 3.5. 3.5. And last off, this is recommended by another YouTuber. Um, Maybe I sort of put this off. I didn't really put this off. I just had other things to do. Watch Sorry to Bother You, and watch it Belladonna Sadness, because because those films on Mubi, they're only on for 30 days, and then they take it off and they add another one on. Um, there's some films on there right now that I got to watch before they leave, like Valhalla Rising by Nicholas Winding Refn, which I think is on there about 6 more days. I'm not sure, but if that another YouTuber friend of mine, he likes Nicholas Winding Refn a lot. I think the guy that recommended Sasha, who recommended this to me, likes Nicholas Winding Refn a lot too. But Valhalla Rising is on there. I think it's like 6 or 5 days left. Um, so, anyways, I managed to watch this today, get it out of the way, and it's I don't know if I'm butchering the name. Atana Arjuet. Atana Arjuet, The Fast Runner. It's an Inuit film. It's an Eskimo movie. It's I read up on some of the stuff about their filming of this movie, and how, what they did before this. Um, it's uh, it's 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 not the first Inuit movie made, um, but it's it's like a more a more drawn out, or more, how can I put it, more epic, more um, more ambitious than maybe the previous things that this Inuit, they as I read in on the second disc, they have a film industry in northern Canada where they have made some Inuit movies or television programs. I don't know, maybe some shorts, maybe. And but then after they did those in the '90s, I think this is a 2000 movie. It's hard for me to see these. I think it's like 2000 maybe or 1999 or something. Anyways, this film, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to try and um, convey what it's about without saying, just giving you a rough idea of what the film's about. So, anyways, um, it's about these two brothers that grow up. Um, the main character, he wants to marry this woman, and the woman is promised to another man, but he fights this other man for her hand, and he gets her. And then he manages to end up with a second wife, um, and his. I'm trying not to give too much away because I don't want to like spoil it for you. But his second wife, uh, um, his second wife does something that upsets the narrative of the story. That upsets um, that uh, that upsets the movie, causes a problem within the movie, and his brother is murdered by um, this character's brother is murdered by the son and his maybe it's his brothers of the man. I think this is correct. Of the man who wanted to have his son originally married to the woman that he's married to. So he's chased by these men, and that's where the fast runner part of the movie comes in. And he's running across. Um, he runs across the snow and ice naked, basically. So that scene was kind of captivating. It sort of picked up as the time went by. It was kind of slow at the start. It was kind of sort of boring to me at the start, I gotta admit. But it picked up, so it got a little more interesting to me. So I got a little. Then I really started getting more into the movie. It became more of like an action movie or whatever. You know, him trying to um, escape being killed by his a person that he's not friends with in his tribe or whatever. Um, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of sluggish at the start, and so I give this film maybe out of 5 stars. I give it um, 3.5, maybe, or 3. Um, I give it 3.5. So that does it. So we got Fast Runner. Fast Runner, I give it 3.5 stars. I give Sorry to Bother You. What did I give this? I think it was 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars, I believe. Fires on the Plane. 4.5 or 5. What did I say? Um, Definitely 4.5, if not 5. Trying to remember. Well, you know what I said a little just a while back. I think I said, what did I say? You maybe this is annoying that I can't think right away what I'm doing. You know what I said, or trying to decide what the rating of a film for me would be. 4.5. Okay, I think that'll do it. And then of course Belladonna Sadness gives it 3.5. So overall, this week wasn't too bad. I managed to see some films that were, not too bad, pretty decent, and let's just hope this following week I don't get stuck with a dud. I sort of I sort of choose films that I'm gonna like, or have the prospect of liking. I'm probably not going to rush out to watch a film like Freddy Got Fingered or Adam Sandler film. I hear a few Adam Sandler films are, you know, good movies. Well, like one of them I did see, which was Punch Drunk Love, but that's probably because of Paul Thomas Anderson more than Adam Sandler. But I'm not going to watch. I think Pauly Shore's Biodome. I'm not going to watch films like that. It's a waste of time, and I have only so long in my life to watch things and do things and listen to music and read books, and I don't want to waste my life watching something like Freddy Got Fingered. So which has an interesting theory behind it. Just to digress for a second, that I looked up on the internet, on YouTube, that he deliberately tried to make a bad movie. That's what I hear. That's the theory behind it. I have watched a few bad movies. I watched The Room, which has a remake of it that I think a lot of people know about by now, called The Disaster Artist, and it's about this man named what's the guy's name that is based on well, whatever his name is. He has long hair. Um, he wrote, directed, and produced the movie, I believe, The Room. Which this is one of those moments with the word. I can see the word in my head, but I can't get it out and say it. What is that guy's name? Um, well, if you can, just put it down there. Uh, Whatever. Okay, so I don't want to keep you. So um, I did I did make an account for my music channel, All Music. I have worked on like one or two songs recently in my garage band songs. So maybe I'll put those up soon, and I'll put them up both on this channel and on the music channel, which is called uh, Page Hendrix Slash. I believe that's how it goes. Yeah, Page Hendrix Slash. It's Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, and Slash. That's the name of the channel, and I don't have any material on that right now. I'm thinking of putting an intro on there, to tell what the channel's about, and that's going to be geared towards garage band stuff because I don't, like I said in a previous video, I don't know if a lot of people are interested in garage band stuff that I put on this channel. Um, but maybe we'll get more views on another channel. Maybe I'm getting a lot of views, but just to see if I can get more views, I'll put it on another channel that's just music oriented entirely, and I'll put it on this channel too. But I'll distribute it to both channels. So I guess that's it. And all right, see you later. I won't keep you. Goodbye.